Messi and Mbappe are definitely the two best players left in the World Cup. But who are some of the players that have gone under the radar, right? Some of the more underrated players. We're here today to build a full 11 of underrated players that are still remaining in the World Cup. So out of the four teams that are still going to play in the upcoming semifinals. We'll talk about key stats that show how good they are, key performances, and as a bonus, we'll talk about their market value according to Transfermarkt, right? So how much will it cost for your club to go and acquire some of these players? In goal, we have an easy one, Dominik Livakovic. This guy has played all 5 games for Croatia. He's had 6 saves and only 3 goals conceded in the 5 games. His best game was definitely against Brazil. This guy only costs 8.5 million euros. He's a 27-year-old and he plays for Dinamo Zagreb, right? So if your club is looking for a goalkeeper, go get this guy. In right back, we have Josip Juranovic. This guy has been absolutely immense for Croatia. 1 assist, 6 chances created, 80 touches per game, 7 progressive passes per game, 3 long balls, 2.5 clearances, 7 recoveries, and 3.5 ground and aerial duels won, right? So from those stats, it tells you that not only can this guy sort of get on the ball and help in an attacking sense, but he can also get back and defend, right? And the standout thing, like sort of from the eye test that you see from this guy, is the amount of energy that he has, the engine that he has in his body. He's just up and down the pitch and he runs like his life depends on it, right? So Croatian fans, I'm sure you love this guy, but surprisingly, he's only worth 6.5 million euros. And he plays for Celtic right now, right? Only 27 years old. So, someone like Man United that's looking for a backup right back or someone to compete with Dalot, I think we should go get this guy. In left back, we have, I cheated a little bit. He's actually been playing as a right back, but Jules Koundé. I criticized this guy myself because I thought, or rather, I criticized Deschamps because, he's not an actual fullback, so he can't provide the attacking threat. But he's gone a little bit under the radar, right? His performances have been solid. He's obviously been really good defensively, and going forward, he's also provided a little bit of attacking threat for France. He's only played 3 full games, only 74 touches per game, 7 progressive passes per game, and that's where he's gone under the radar a little bit. 1 tackle, clearance, and interception per game, 5 ball recoveries, and 3 ground and aerial duels won. So like I said, defensively solid, going forward, surprisingly good. In the 2 center back positions, we have Lovren and Gvardiol. So far we've had 4 Croatian players, but that's how good they've played, right? I mean, Lovren is 33 years old. He plays for Zenit St. Petersburg. But what a revival he's had in his career because of this World Cup, right? He actually had 1 assist versus Japan for the Perisic header, 88 touches per game. So getting on the ball surprisingly quite a lot, 6 progressive passes per game, 5 accurate long balls per game. So, he's getting involved in the build-up play as well. And defensively solid too, 5.5 clearances, 5 recoveries, and 4.5 ground and aerial duels won. So absolute hats off for this guy. Gvardiol is getting on the ball even more than Lovren, 92 touches per game, 7 progressive passes per game, 3.5 accurate long balls, and defensively too, 6.5 clearances, 7 recoveries per game, and 3 ground and aerial duels won, right? So these guys have been absolutely immense. I would say Lovren's best game was against Japan and also against Brazil. Gvardiol played really well against Japan and Brazil as well. So hats off to these 4 Croatian players to get into the back 5, right? In midfield, we have 3 midfielders. We're playing a 4-3-3 formation, and we're going to start straight away with Enzo Fernandez. This guy is only 21 years old. Benfica just paid about 12 million euros to buy him this summer, and his value is already 35 million euros, right? He's played roughly 4 full games for Argentina, 1 goal, 1 assist, 5 shots, 4 chances created. So absolutely immense going forward. 94 touches per game. So he's getting on the ball pretty much everywhere. Like if you guys want to go check out his heat map, go check it out. He's absolutely everywhere on the pitch. 11 progressive passes per game, 2 tackles and interceptions per game, 5 ground and aerial duels won. So sort of, going forward on the ball, defensively, he's doing basically everything. And his best game was definitely against the Netherlands. In the other 2 midfield spots, we have 2 Moroccans in Sofiane Amrabat and Azzedine Ounahi. These guys, I've talked about these guys over and over again, but they have been so good for Morocco, man. I mean, Morocco has very poor XG numbers, so going forward, they haven't really done much as midfielders. But, Amrabat has had only 50 touches a game, only 3 progressive passes a game, and only 1 chance created in all the 5 games. But defensively, 3 tackles and interceptions per game, 8 recoveries, 3 ground and aerial duels won. So he's been competing for the ball, making sure Morocco wins it back, and also helping out in defense so that they don't concede so many goals, right? So absolutely crazy from Amrabat, and I think Liverpool wants to buy him. He's going to be an absolute steal at 10 million euros, right? Obviously, Fiorentina will probably charge him more than that, but I'm just giving you the transfer market value. Azzedine Ounahi, this guy, 22 years old, man. He plays for Angers in France. His value is only 3.5 million euros according to Transfermarkt. He's also had very low touches in the game, 46 touches per game, only 2 progressive passes, and 5 chances created total across the 5 games, but 7 successful dribbles across the 5 games. So, whenever Morocco needs to get out of trouble or, try to create something from midfield, this guy's on it. 3 tackles and interceptions, 5 recoveries, and 5 duels, ground and aerial duels won. His best game was against Portugal or Spain, right? You take your pick. But absolutely insane from these 2 midfielders. In the final 3 positions, we have a left winger, right winger, and a striker, right? And again, we have 2 more Moroccan players in this team. We're going to start with Sofiane Boufal. This guy used to play for Southampton in the Premier League, and now he's also at Angers in France. He's 29 years old. He's only worth 8 million euros. And in the 5 games that he's played, he's actually completed 12 successful dribbles. That's on the level of like Kylian Mbappe. This guy has been absolutely immense for Morocco, and he's gone underrated a little bit. Nobody's really talking about him, right? Because he doesn't have like goals and assists. He's only got 5 shots, 0.57 XG and XA combined, and only 34 touches per game. But whenever he does get on the ball, he actually, looks like a threat, and he will be in the semifinal against France as well. He's actually going to be facing off against Jules Koundé, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see what he can do. Great dribbler of the ball, and actually he's been great at ground and aerial duels as well. So, when the ball has been knocked up to him as a long ball from the Moroccan defenders, he's done really well to sort of win the ball, right? So his best game was definitely against Spain. I think he had 6 dribbles in that game alone. So this guy can do bits. At right wing, we have another Croatian player in Andre Kramaric. This guy has played both as striker and as winger. There wasn't really any other standout winger, so I tried to put him into the team. And he's really gone under the radar. And even Croatian fans might tell you that, he hasn't been that good. He's only had 33 touches a game. So that tells you sort of how starved Croatia's attack has been in most cases, right? They've only scored 6 goals in this tournament, and 4 of them came against Canada in the group stage. So since that game, they've only scored 2 goals. But he has 2 of those goals. Obviously, he got him against Canada. 9 shots, 3 on target, 1.56 XG. And his best game, like I said, was against Canada. In last position, we have Youssef En-Nesyri, again from Morocco. This guy is 25 years old. He plays for Sevilla, and he's worth 12 million euros only. Talk about low touches per game, right? Only 22 touches a game for this guy. 2 goals, 5 shots, 2 on target, 0.84 XG, only 1 dribble per game. But if in terms of ground and aerial duels won, he has 7 ground and aerial duels won every single game. So, as starved as he's been of the ball with only 22 touches per game, every time he does get involved in the play, he's shown his physicality. He's shown his ability to keep the ball for his team and be a great striker. So hats off to this guy as well. What do you guys think about this team? I think this team could go really far in the World Cup if they were playing, right? I know there's a lot of unknown names here and some known names as well with Koundé and Guardiola and things like that. But I think this team could have probably made it to the quarterfinals, maybe even the semifinals, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.